Good evening, everybody. Wonderful to see so many people joining us tonight for the 2021 Australian Impact Investment Awards. Welcome. We'll just give a minute. Some people are just coming in from the waiting room and connecting to audio. It's very exciting. Lovely to see all your smiling faces. Wish we were in a room all together and we could celebrate with a glass of champagne in hand. But this is lovely to see your faces. If you can turn on your camera, it would be great to see you. We can have a virtual celebration. There are some members of the Social Impact Hub team and the Professional Impact Network in Sydney in person, and we will get to see them shortly in a moment as well. So I think we will kick off. I'd like to start by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land on which we're meeting. We are coming from all across the country, but I'm coming to you from Gadigal land, the Eora Nation, and I pay my respects to their elders past, present, and emerging. I encourage you to also pop in the chat where you're joining us from, acknowledge your country. It would be wonderful to see where you're all joining us from this evening. My name is Jessica Mendoza-Roth. It's my honour to welcome you to the awards this evening. I'm the founder and CEO of the Social Impact Hub. We help change agents to accelerate their impact through advice, education, ecosystem building, and mobilising capital. We catalyse, empower, and enable those working to make a world where people and the planet thrive. So we developed and now manage the Impact Investing Hub. And we have some very exciting things planned for the Impact Investing Hub in 2022. So stay tuned for some big announcements with what's coming next year. We're thrilled to host tonight's event, despite the challenges of COVID, in collaboration with our friends at Impact Investment Summit Asia Pacific, which unfortunately couldn't run again in person this year, but we look forward to hopefully reconvening in person next year in March 2022. And it's wonderful to have so many members of the Summit team here, and we'll hear from Alex at the end of tonight's proceedings. I would like to thank the Department of Social Services for sponsoring the awards and recognising innovation, recognising excellence in the sector. Without your support, these virtual awards with a free event couldn't have gone ahead, especially in these sort of challenging times with COVID. So we really want to thank you for your sponsorship and contribution to growing the impact investment market. Thank you to all the members of the department that are joining us here this evening. So the Impact Investment Awards were launched in 2018 to recognise and honour outstanding activity and individuals in the impact investing ecosystem. There are 5 award categories that we called for nominations: Impact Enterprise, Impact Asset Owner, Impact Asset Manager, Impact Market Builder, and Individual Outstanding Achievement. And we thank the Global Steering Group on Impact Investment for sharing with us their categories, their nomination forms, their judging criteria for the first 4 categories. I'd like to thank the judges for taking the time to review the nominations. It was a big job. Select the finalists, all our honourable mentions and the winners. It's been a big commitment and we are very grateful, especially for those of you that have come back for second and in some cases third time. So I'd like to acknowledge and thank Rosemary Addis from Impact Strategist, Zarmeen Pavri, the Senior Advisor and Australian Country Head for the Global Impact Investing Network, and Libby, who was also joined by some of her colleagues, Judy, Dran, and some others from the Community Cohesion Branch in the Department of Social Services. So can you join me in thanking them? I'll clap. You can clap too. You can give them a virtual clap. But we're very grateful for their time in going through all of the nominations. They've been very proper through the whole process, declaring conflicts of interest on every, wherever there was one, and you can have every confidence in the integrity of the judging process of these awards with those fabulous people at the helm. So thank you. I also want to thank everybody who took the time to put in a nomination. We're very grateful. We know it's been a very big year, a stressful year for many of you. And there's been lengthy lockdowns, there's been homeschooling challenges, there's been all sorts of things along the road. And for those of you who've actually taken the time to put in the nominations and to do such amazing work as reflected in the nominations, was really heartening for the judges to see. So we're very grateful, and thank you for taking the time to do that. So we want to thank you also for taking the time to come along today. We have a whole lot of people in Sydney, as I mentioned, in person, and those of you joining us, about 50 people from at home watching, in addition to the 30 people in person. So a little bit of housekeeping before we start. We encourage you to share your applause and encouragement through the Zoom chat as each of the winners are announced, the honourable mentions are shared, and it would be lovely to feel the excitement in the virtual room. So some claps, or either real or virtual, and some commentary, please do. And also feel free to share on social media. The finalists already have social media tiles, and we have previous years, people have added to their email signatures, and it's lovely. We really want to celebrate your achievements and give you the tools to do so. Our finalists don't know who they are, right? Our winners, sorry, they don't know who they are. So we want people to come off mute when the winner is announced, and we'll ask you to speak for a minute or so. You don't know who you are, so there's no prepared remarks. But if you just keep those remarks to a minute or so, so that we can finish on time, that would be great. And as we announce the winner, also feel free to come off mute and share your applause so we can actually hear it for all of our winners. So that's it, I think, by way of housekeeping and introductions. I would like to again thank the Department of Social Services and welcome Minister Ruston to say a few words. We have a message from her today, so I will just like to acknowledge the government's support for the impact investment sector, and we'll hear from the Minister now.
Hi everyone, and thanks for having me, albeit virtually. It's great to take part in your Australian Impact Investment Awards this year, and congratulations to all the winners. It almost goes without saying that COVID-19 has posed many challenges in all aspects of our lives, and particularly organising a big event like this. So a big thank you and well done to the Impact Investment Hub and the Impact Investing Asia Pacific Summit. The government has a key interest in social impact investing as a way of funding government programs because of its sharp focus on creating real and tangible outcomes, and most importantly, its embedded use of data to measure and validate outcomes. Your awards are a great opportunity to recognise the outstanding work and results we've seen in this growing and innovative sector. Impact investment in Australia grew by 46% between 2019 and 2020, reaching $29 billion across 145 impact investment products. The key now is continuing to develop a mature and ultimately self-sustaining social impact investing market, which is why the government has invested $71.6 million in social impact investing initiatives over the past 4 years. Most recently, we committed $13.9 million to establish an early-stage social enterprise foundation to improve the social and economic security of Indigenous women. The state and territory governments have also seen the potential of impact investing and are getting involved as well. In September this year, we partnered with Minister Henskens in New South Wales Government to develop Foyer Central in Sydney, which supports young people at risk of homelessness. This builds on the partnership with the South Australian Government earlier in the year, helping to keep children growing up safely in the care of family and not in out-of-home care. Initiatives like these are helping us find new ways to tackle stubborn social problems that have proved resistant to traditional approaches. The outstanding list of participants in tonight's awards augurs well for the future of impact investing in Australia. To all the winners, congratulations. Thank you for your commitment and for making a very real difference to Australians who need support. And I know that this is just the beginning. This sector has so much more to offer, and the Morrison government will absolutely be there to work with businesses, governments and individuals as social impact investing continues to grow.
Thank you very much, Minister Ruston. So it's now my pleasure to hand over to Zameen to present the first two categories of our awards. Without any further ado, let's go on.
Hi everyone.
Let me go on. There we go. And I'll hand over to Zameen to present our first two awards. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jess. And on to our first category, which is the Impact Asset Owner of the Year 2021. So in this category, although we had many nominations, which was great to see, some of the actual entrants were actually considered not as asset owners, but were really investment management organizations running funds and actual asset managers. Others that were remaining in the category, who were left in the category, although pleasing to read about their initiatives, on the actual application forms, they did not actually showcase or demonstrate distinctive applications of impact investing practitioner techniques, nor did they demonstrate the rigor that we would expect as investment practitioners of using impact measurement and management practices on their actual application forms. And so for this year, unfortunately, there are no winners, but we did want to recognize from what we did see on those applications, we were very pleased to see the asset owners actually extending and evolving their sophistication levels of being leaders in responsible investing and ESG and sustainability practices. We did recognize the use of the word impact used in its very colloquial sense. And what we're expecting the investment community to do is really apply the financial and investment techniques, the practitioner techniques, and demonstrate that on those application forms. So a little bit disappointing, but we are very, very hopeful for next year that we will see more active progress from moving from aspiration to action in more tangible ways through the deployment of capital into real world outcomes. So this year, no winners, but hopeful for next year. So on to the next category, the Impact Asset Manager of the Year. And for the second category, we did see actually one of the biggest growth spaces in this category, which is really amazing to see. It's showing the sophistication of our market, new entrants coming into develop new product. And they all have, the nominations actually have very different contributions to the impact economy, which was also making it much more difficult to judge for us as well. But before we announce the winner, we really did want to give a special mention to Inspire Impact for their equities fund and their pioneering impact work in the public markets. And they are really causing a differentiator in terms of what a sustainability product looks like versus an impact product in the listed markets. So well done to Inspire Impact. For moving on to the one. So there are 4 wonderful finalists in this category. we have Save the Children, and I'll just say a little bit about the four before I announce. So Save the Children, it is really incredible and wonderful to see a non-for-profit doing an impact fund. They have, Save the Children have made actually 4 direct impact investments in the last year, and we hope to see many more non-for-profits entering the market. And really a nice wake-up call for the traditional investment management community, where we can see big systems shifts of new entrants coming into the marketplace from the non-for-profit sector and obtaining their financial services licenses and starting to really develop new products that are quite deep impact. And again, that shows another level of a systems indicator and a data point for new entrants coming in and the growing impact investing community and ecosystem. So well done, Save the Children. The next one is Conscious Investment Management, who had a very thoughtful and detailed approach to impact investing at scale, and with a particular mention of their finance of $150 million of a social housing program throughout Victoria. So they were in our final category. And then CIFA, the winner of last year, has continued to do outstanding work, and in the last year, they acted as the syndicate agent and providing capital to many social enterprises, and amazing contribution as an intermediary. And lastly, Affirmative Investment Management. In this one, we were really pleased to see a deep commitment and focus on the actual mobilization of capital being done by AIM on broadening and deepening the impact bond market, and which is a fairly large asset class, and it actually plays a really big important role in an investor's overall portfolio. So they are the 4 finalists, and on to the actual winner of this category. What made this winner in this category? As you can see, it is Affirmative Investment Management. And as judges, we really recognize the valuable work that they did in the bonds market. They actually mobilized mainstream capital to address major challenges the world faces, and they have been quite devoted to growing as an organization with a mission to broadening and deepening this asset class category of, in the bonds. So I'd like to really invite Kate to unmute herself and say a few words. So congratulations.
Well, thank you so much. And first of all, I must say I'm very disappointed because I've been at all of the summits, and how much I would like to be walking up on the stage now and being part of that, applause rather than virtually. But thank you so much, Zameen, for those very kind words. And as we said, we've been in the shortlist for many years, so it's quite full of pride. And on behalf of Affirmative, that we're Impact Asset Manager of the Year. Firstly, I would like to thank the judging panel. It is no short order at the level that you go to in really understanding the offerings and what is available, and to be acknowledged for our efforts, not only in the environmental and social impact, but really moving forward in building the impact bond market globally, and importantly in Australia. As you know, we spend much time educating and engaging with both the marketplace but also investors here in Australia, and we really pride that we're a global company with that reach. I'd also like to thank the Social Impact Hub and Jess, all the work that you lead with the summit in that regard. I think 2 of the principles that drive, I know, the summit is education and the ability to move capital, and that's very much in line with us at Affirmative. So we really look forward to being involved in further summits and also being present at further award evenings. So again, thank you, and we're thrilled.
Thank you, Kate. And now I will pass the baton to Rosemary, who's going to present our next award.
Thanks, Zameen, and congratulations to all of the finalists and winners in today's awards. The recognition of a lot of work that's gone on through a very difficult period, and in a time where it's so important that we continue to be pushing to build this market and we had a number of applications from people who are involved in developing the market and the field in different ways, some as an adjunct to the work that they're doing as players in the market, some whose day job is to concentrate on the aspects of field building and removing barriers and creating new opportunities for investment. This work is vital and is needed more than ever as we work to really drive scale and to ensure that as more and more capital is entering the market for sustainable and responsible investment, that it is finding where the need is in the community and that we make that easier for people as things move forward. So we have an honourable mention in this category to the Centre for Social Impact. The honourable mention is particularly acknowledging the work that CSI did at Swinburne in collaboration with the Paul Ramsay Foundation that was relating to the Australian Social Ventures ecosystem. This is a continuation of work that CSI has been involved in various ways, mapping the social enterprise sector. And it is a really important contribution, and they have been a leader in the academic sphere in really putting that focus on social impact. We need the rigour, the research, the education of new entrants and of the next generation, and the data that we can work with to build the case and to be doing more of what works and learning as we go. So huge recognition to CSI and for this particular piece of work they did with the Paul Ramsay Foundation. Congratulations. Moving on to the finalists in this category. We have two finalists quite different in this category, and it's one of the nice but also challenging things when we're looking at the applications that come in, that we do see people making contributions in very different ways in the market. Australian Impact Investments, as many of you know, has been a pioneer in intermediation, really now providing advice to a range of organisations in helping people find more opportunities to be deploying their capital aligned with their values and for impact, and applying rigour to creating a pipeline of quality investments across different asset classes, and making a huge contribution as reflected in their growth and the extension of their services. Also, Good Return operating in a very different part of the market, focusing on an area that you've heard some of us talk about a lot, that the role that Australia has in driving more capital into the region, and how we can be active in ensuring that there is sustainable development in our region, and connecting from local to regional and to global ecosystems, to be really strengthening the capacity and helping to direct capital to where the need is on the terms that people need it. So congratulations to the finalists, and the winner is Good Return. Congratulations to Shane, and I think we have Shane and Fifi and Diana with us tonight. Huge recognition for the work that you're doing, and we'd love to offer you the floor to make some remarks. Do we have Shane with us? And if Shane is not here, perhaps Fifi, you'd like to step in.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much for nominating us under this category. We are very proud, and we look forward to continue our role as a network convener for the brokers in the network to advance gender lens investing in the agricultural sector, and to continue to empower women as actors to address economic as well as climate justice. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thanks very much, Fifi. Congratulations. And we are now going to hand to Libby, who's going to take us through the next category of awards of the Impact Enterprises.
Thank you very much, Rosemary. And I'd just like to say I'm very happy to join you here this evening. I'm joining you from the lands of the Ngunnawal people, and I'm really happy. I'm reasonably new in this space, but I've learned a lot through this process, and it's great to be able to join you all this evening. So our fourth award category is for Impact Enterprise of the Year, and we also have some honourable mentions in this category. So we have quite a few. So Ag Unity focused on importance of food production in low-income countries in our region and the nature of cereal capital raising. We have Fair Supply, targeting modern slavery and bringing data and analysis and rigour to investment decision making. Sober, targeting an incredibly important issue and their ability to rally 587 investors. Dreaming Food Group, demonstrating the financing of Indigenous business at scale with an innovative financing structure. And CoView, which is a timely innovation in service delivery given the circumstances around the pandemic, and it's enabled people to continue to receive care. So thank you very much and congratulations to the honourable mentions. And now on to the finalists in this category. So we have 4 finalists in this category: Tender Funerals, Like Family, Jigsaw and Melbourne City Mission, who all offer very unique and very valuable service to supporting some very vulnerable people. But the winner of the category, Impact Enterprise of the Year 2021 award, is Paul and the team at Jigsaw. Congratulations. Yeah. Paul, are you there? Would you like to say a few words?
Hi, Libby. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's a real honour to pick up this award. And yeah, just wanted to take the opportunity to thank the Social Impact Hub for these wonderful awards, and we're really privileged to be a part of it. I'd like to say a huge thank you to Impact Generation Partners and the support they provided us over many years, and most recently with an impact investment round that we did to support Jigsaw's growth, and also most notably the Jigsaw team, who a number of who are on the call at the moment. So yeah, it's been a tremendous year for us following an impact investment round, and we've created 100 jobs for people with disability. 91% of those are still in employment, and 48% have surpassed 24 months, which is really pleasing to see. And we've got an infrastructure and a hub network of 326 trainees with disability who are on their pathway to employment. And none of that would be possible without our wonderful investors and the support of the Jigsaw team and Impact Generation Partners as well. So thank you very much for this award. It means a lot to us, and yeah, we look forward to continue making impact.
Thanks very much, Paul. I'm going to pass back to Rosemary to present the final award.
Thanks, Libby. And it is indeed my great pleasure to be presenting this award, the Individual Outstanding Achievement Award. Some of you will recall that this grew out of what was an X factor that we saw year on year with the applications coming through, often of outstanding quality, that what people in the sector were really wanting to do was recognise the contributions of some individuals who've made an outstanding personal and professional commitment to building this field, and in very different ways often. And so this category of the awards was created. I am going to take the liberty of having the floor to give an honourable mention that's not on the list to Jess and the whole team at Social Impact Hub for continuing to drive this process of recognition and all of the fantastic work they do, which doesn't get a direct Guernsey because of their involvement with the awards. And this year, as we've gone to the formal nominations, we have also continued to recognise that there are other applications that have come through that are really showcasing the tremendous contribution of some individuals who have been very committed in various ways to building the field over often long periods of time, or have stepped well outside of their professional and personal comfort zones. So the first award, we don't have any shortlist for this one. We're going to jump straight in, and it's terrific that we have a few awards to make. The first one is picking up on Zameen's theme of really taking a leadership role in showing us what's possible in the public markets. We'd like to recognise Kerry Series. Kerry, as many of you know, Kerry has a rich and storied history in financial markets, including having built and grown a number of investment firms, and has followed his curiosity and passion for impact through studying at Oxford and then building the firm that today sits with Inspire Impact. Kerry, congratulations, and I invite you to say a few words.
Thank you. So just coming off mute and putting my video on, I have to say I'm a bit flabbergasted because I wasn't expecting it at all. I was like, this is going to be really interesting. Who's it going to be? So thank you so much, everybody. I mean, I launched the fund 5 years ago. I think I've been knocking around the impact scene since Simon Schudmack introduced me to the concept in 2012. And you know, having been in the finance industry for over 30 years, I can say it's just the best group of people to be involved with. And so thank you so much for this. I'm almost speechless.
Well, thank you very much, Kerry, for all of your contributions. We're delighted to recognise your achievements this evening.
Thank you.
Moving to the next award, and you've had a sneak preview, but drum roll is to recognise Professor Joe Barakat. I have had the great privilege of watching Joe's work develop, deepen, expand in its reach over more than 10 years, and she's been working at it a lot longer, a real pioneer of social enterprise, introducing the concepts in Australia, and it's terrific to see her tenacity, rigour and collegiality recognised. So Joe, I'd like to offer you the floor to say a few words, and congratulations.
Thanks, Rosemary. I'm really glad you're offering the award because it feels like it's always a team effort. I know that there are definitely I's in social impact investment, but there's no I in the team. Thanks to whomever it was who chose to nominate me for this. Thanks to the organisers and to the sponsors. I think those of you who know me know that I am much more concerned with building the commons than I am with personal self-promotion. But it is just such a delight to be at this stage in the development of the ecosystem and to not be alone, and in the academic space, I mean, and to be working not just with my own team at CSI Swinburne, but actually with people across the country and across the world who are doing really important, applied, but high quality, rigorous research to do the sorts of things that you described earlier, Rosemary, in relation to the CSI honourable mention about actually, building the evidence base, being critical friends. Our greatest role in this is our independence from the sector, but walking alongside and generating the kind of evidence that is really needed across all parts of the ecosystem. So thanks very much for the acknowledgement, and congratulations to everyone else who's a winner tonight.
Thanks very much, Joe. I'm really delighted that we're able to recognise all of your contributions. The next award I'd like to present is also one that I feel very excited about, we are recognising somebody who steps out of their comfort zone 5 times before breakfast most days, and I am talking about the person who brought us the analogy of impact investing and the platypus. The person who told us that just because we've seen something like that doesn't mean it doesn't exist. And it's my great pleasure to be presenting this award to Dan. I've seen his contributions to market building, many of which have been shared with the field, but many of which have happened in the background, and he has been prepared to, to really step into the market building in a significant way, and then taken a number of roles, as you know, in the field. So, Dan, I'd like to invite you to say a few words.
Yeah, thank you, Rosemary. I'm very, very chuffed, and I don't think I've won an award since I won the. I shared the best and fairest in the under-16s Berwick Churches Soccer Club in 1996. So on that day, I shared the award with a good mate of mine, Justin, and I'm as pleased to share the award today with Joe and Kerry, who I'm a massive fan of, and congratulations to you both. I must admit, I'm very thankful of the timing of this award, because I don't think I could have won it a couple of months ago, because I understand it's an annual award, and as of a couple of months ago, I hadn't actually done anything this year except quit my job. So, and I don't think they give out awards for that, or if they have, I might have planned a different career. Pleasingly, over the last few months, we've had a wonderful opportunity to set up Ecotone Partners with my great friends Amanda Goodman and Jeremy Burke, and we've had the opportunity to do some really interesting work in disability accommodation with Summer Foundation. We've just completed a capital raise for Ability Made, and we've got another very large capital raise, which I'm not allowed to talk about yet, but we got done last week, but you'll hear about it soon. I'm not allowed to share it, or Amanda will, I don't know, break my fingers or something. So that news will come out soon. And I guess I'd also just like to say thank you. Thanks to Amanda and Jeremy for going into partnership with me. Thanks for all of the team at IRG, who I am incredibly fond of and still in close contact with. And also thanks to you, Rosemary, and everyone at Impact Investing Australia, who, and many have gone on to do other things in the ecosystem, which, and everyone from there that I had the chance to work with does fabulous work. So thank you, Rosemary, for getting me, for convincing me into the space all those years ago. And it's been a wonderful, 7 or 8 years being part of this community. I think it really is quite special. And I guess if I reflect on that, the only reason I'm part of this community is because I decided to quit my job at JB Weir. So maybe this really is the good on you for quitting your job award, Dan. But on that, thank you. I'm really chuffed and really pleased to be able to share it with Joe and Kerry as well.
Thanks for that, Dan. It's terrific to see the various ways in which you've contributed recognised here today. So we have one more of these awards, and in the spirit of recognising people who continue to push the boundaries of the market, and indeed harking back to where this particular award began, it's my great pleasure to give the award to Kylie Charlton of Australian Impact Investments. Kylie, as many of you will know, has been a pioneer of this market globally, and then coming back to Australia many years ago, and has played different roles in getting the ecosystem moving from the very early times when she came back as a fellow at Swinburne and then in founding Australian Impact Investment. So Kylie, I'll invite you to say a few words.
Great. Thanks very much, Rosemary. And really honoured. I'm laughing because I'm sitting in one of the meeting rooms in my office and my team is now running up and down the hallway, cheering. It's actually really lovely because we do actually have a team now as well, having grown from 3 to 5 this year and adding a 6th in February as well. So I think Joe's comment beforehand about there being lots of I's in the word social impact investment, but not I in anything that we achieve. Actually, it's the teams around us. And I think one of the things that we actually look at when we assess investments is who's the team around the investment, because that's actually what makes something successful. But I'd really like to acknowledge all the finalists, all the winners. I'd like to acknowledge Jess and the team at Social Impact Hub. I remember the first night these awards were actually put on, and the complete surprise that I don't think the actual award even had a name at that stage. It's just the person who'd done stuff, and so it's really lovely. Thank you so much for the acknowledgement of sort of circling back around, and what I'd say to people is it's a long haul. We're in this for a long time to make a difference, and our tagline is to mobilize capital for a better tomorrow. And that better tomorrow, if as a child I sang tomorrow never comes as the Any song when I was at primary school, and I suppose in some ways that doesn't actually come for us here in this space, or at least it seems a little bit a while away, until we actually get to the point where every capital decision is made with consideration to impact. So thank you, really, thank you very, very much for the acknowledgement. And I look forward to working with everyone. I think everyone who was sort of mentioned tonight, we've interacted with in some way or other in terms of looking at deals. And that's what makes the sector what it is, both in terms of what it's achieving, but also in that community and the spirit that it sort of continues on in. So thank you very much.
Thanks very much, Kylie. And all of our winners tonight, Kerry and Joe and Dan and Kylie, are terrific exemplars of the values, integrity, rigour that has characterised so many people in this sector, and continues to do so. And we welcome more and more people into working to create a really vibrant and dynamic impact ecosystem, and seeing the potential for what we can be doing here in Australia and from here, connected to the region and the world. With that, I am going to hand to Alex to close us out tonight. So Alex, thank you to the Summit for hosting us and being part of this process for another year. We're looking forward to the Summit being able to go ahead in March. We all have our fingers and toes crossed, and I'm delighted to hand to you to provide some remarks to round out the program today.
Thanks, Rosemary, and thank you to everyone here tonight. Listening to everyone and the joy and the ability for all of us to share, doesn't it just feel like this amazing family of impactors? Like, it just feels like home for all of us. And it's so great to connect like this, especially towards the end of the year when we're starting to shut down. And these awards, although they're not face-to-face, they're happening at the end of the year, they actually remind us of the year that's been and all the contributions that people have made over that previous year. And what a tough year it's been for most of us. And so congrats to everyone. Congrats to the nominees, the winners. Wow, everyone out there, it's just incredible. Also, big thanks to DSS for sponsoring. Been such a great support of what we do. Thank you to Minister for your words as well. Thanks to the Social Impact Hub for hosting and putting this on and driving this and putting it all together. And mostly, thanks to the judges for putting in so much time into this. Rosemary, Zarmeen, Libby, gosh, it's so appreciated for the work you do. This is thankless work, so it's really, really appreciated. Before we sign off and let you all go, quick reminder that the summit is hopefully on at the end of March. And by the time we get there at the end of March, it will be almost 2.5 years since the last summit. It's hard to believe that 1919 was the last one we had. So we're all desperate to actually see each other in 3D as opposed to 2D on a screen. So what a process that will be. And the great news as well, by the way, is that the wonderful Dan Madhavan is going to be our MC. So Dan, you're not getting out of this one. We're so excited that he'll be emceeing this very, very extensive program that Mel Grablow has put together with the help of many of you out there. And it's actually going to be a festival of impact. So there's 4 days of fun and games around the impact space. So for more information, have a look at the website. There's program announcements coming out constantly. And we hope to meet you all face-to-face next year. Happy holidays, everyone. Thanks for being with us tonight. It's been wonderful.
Thank you very much, Alex. Thank you, everyone, for joining. It's been wonderful to see all your smiling faces, feel your joy, especially to hear from our winners who were completely delighted and surprised. So thank you. Go and celebrate. Have a drink, please. Sorry that we can't actually do it. Your trophies are on their way to you. So take a snap, share them on socials. We'd love to see them. Not quite the same as giving it to you on stage, but you can have someone in the office, because it's the team, present it to you in a handshake and have a lovely picture with your trophies that are on their way. So thank you all very, very much for joining us. Have a wonderful holiday break. Everyone has a very well-deserved rest, and look forward to seeing you in 2022.